Right, folks, thousands of Jamaicans dubbed the Windrush generation traveled to the United Kingdom between 1948 and 1971. They answered the call to fill labour shortages after the war, yet are now finding their British residency and benefits in jeopardy. Joining us via Skype are immigrants in the United Kingdom, owner of the Jamaica Patty Company, Theresa Roberts, originally from Jamaica, and former BBC's journalist Mike Jarvis, originally from Montserrat. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Let me start with you, Theresa. Could you tell me your story just to get caught up where we are now?
Well, I came to London in 1965 to join my mum and dad, who was already here waiting for me. I was left in Jamaica with my grandparents.
And Mike?
Well, I've been working in the UK and studying in the UK for quite a number of years now. Formerly with the BBC at the moment. I'm a freelance journalist and commentator, and I've been following this story with particular interest as it continues to unfold almost hour by hour now.
All right, bring us up to date. Where are we now, Mike? What is being said, and what are the ramifications of the people who we're talking about?
The ramifications of this are going to run very far and very deep, I can assure you. What is being said just in the 1 o'clock news that just come on from the BBC is that the government, particularly the Home Office, were warned 3 years ago that the manner in which they were instituting the change in the policy under Theresa May, then as she was the Home Secretary, was going to be problematic for particular groups, and among those groups would have been the Windrush group. And here we are today. That is what has happened, and it is still unfolding as we speak, the extent of it.
Theresa, here in Jamaica, we've heard about this for quite some time, because a lot of the Windrush generation that have been sent home, when they arrive, there's been quite a bit of discussion on the ground. I'm thinking, was the Windrush generation unprepared? If Mike says 3 years ago they knew the policy was coming, why do some seem so unprepared that now that it's here?
I don't know, but what I can say, I'm shocked and I can't believe what has happened, and it's almost disbelief really. But not only me, Britain is shocked with it. I know many years ago we were told to get our records straight, and in fact I went and I got my British passport. I also got my mum and dad British passport, who didn't want it, but because I wanted to make sure we were safe and we followed the rules and regulation. Nonetheless, this is so painful for all of us, but the British government has apologized, and Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness is here to represent the Jamaicans and the Caribbean, and I'm sure he will work with the British government now to make sure something good come out of this for Jamaicans and the Caribbean.
Mike, Theresa May is apologizing, but some are saying, but Theresa, you were at the helm of these changes years ago. Take responsibility that you are the individual at the center of all that's happening.
Yeah, I think both parties should take responsibility, because I think in a way they let us Caribbean down. It's not only Theresa May. I think the Labour Party is part of the problem as well. So, but I feel genuinely that the Caribbeans community hasn't been looked after by none of the parties really. I always think, in my opinion, and how I feel now that they favour Europeans than us, and it hurts me very much.
Mike?
Well, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Theresa does have a point there. I mean, this is a responsibility that has to fall clearly on the shoulders of the Labour Party, then in government at that time, which made the decision to tighten the rules, and also the Conservative Party, which then came and executed what they met without reviewing it. And as I said before, it is now emerging that particularly Mrs. May, as Home Secretary, was warned about it. But there has to be a political responsibility. At the same time, what is also emerging is some people are suggesting the glee that some elements within the civil service, within the Home Office, went about literally pursuing particularly the Commonwealth Caribbean migrants who were here up to a point legally. Remember, they were here legally. They were made illegal during the time that they were here legally.
Mike, a question to you again. What's the worst case scenario here?
Well, it depends on worst case scenario for whom. The worst case scenario, if it can get any worse, for a number of the Caribbean, Commonwealth Caribbean migrants, is deportation. Now, from what I just understood from you, it would appear that some people have been deported. The government is saying up to this point it has no records of people from the Commonwealth Caribbean having been deported. It would be interesting if your station could get a hold of some folks in Jamaica who might have been sent back home, because there are issues now of compensation, etc., coming into play. On the political aspect of it, we have a rather interesting situation developing. This issue really should have been taken up first with the current Home Secretary, Amber Rudd. Amber Rudd has sort of nudged it on to Theresa May. Yes, she is the Prime Minister, and she was the previous Home Secretary. Within all of that now, we have how this story actually hit the mainstream press. And this is a very, very interesting aside that in the coming days, more and more attention is going to be paid to it. The journalist who broke the story for the Guardian newspaper and who's been following it up really quite diligently, her name is Amelia Gentleman. And I'm going to give you the dots, and who wants to join the dots, join the dots. Amelia Gentleman is married to Joe Johnson, who is a Minister of State in the Conservative government, I think he's the Minister of State for London, etc. He is the brother of Boris Johnson, who is the current Foreign Secretary, who we know has had his run-ins with Theresa May. The current Home Secretary has also had her run-ins with Theresa May. Oh, there was this massive competition, as you would know, for the leadership of the Conservative Party. So I've given you some dots. Join them how you wish.
Yeah, Theresa, that was one of my challenges, that we've been hearing about this issue for quite some time, and I wondered why all of a sudden people are now at the political level just admitting that it was an issue, just trying to address it. I think Mike kind of connected the dots. Is there a fear that this is just being used as a political football, and that the good of the people will still be overlooked in all of this discussion?
Well, as I said to you before, the fact that the government has now apologized, and our Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, is accepted the apology, and he will work with the government to make sure that the Jamaican and the Caribbean will be looked after. I really believe that fundamentally we're in a position of strength now. It shouldn't have got to this. It's a disgrace, really, and both Labour and the Conservative. I always feel that we're not looked after as a small majority in this country who built this country, and I feel fundamentally upset that we have to go through all of this all the time, because we are always put back because of other European countries. And I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. But I think now it's come to light. David Lammy did a wonderful job highlighting, and I know now that Jamaicans and the Caribbean will have to work with the government to make sure the ones who have been deported are compensated, and now from going forward we'll be looked after.
Yeah.
Mike, finally from me, I'm reading something that came from the government in the United Kingdom yesterday. It says new team, the headline says new team to help Commonwealth citizens confirm their status in the UK. And it says the new dedicated team will work across government to help individuals identify and gather evidence to confirm their existing right to be in the UK. Does that sit all right with you?
We are all hopeful. We are very hopeful. The big question is, can they get all of that done within the 2-week time frame that they have initially assigned to address this matter? I am very concerned about the people who apparently have been deported. And in terms of getting the documentation together, the documents were all there. The arrival documents were all there. There's a call now for a parliamentary inquiry. Why was the decision made and executed to destroy these very important historical documents? It is beyond belief, to be honest with you.
It is beyond belief, and I can't believe it. But it just shows that no matter where we are in life now, and there's so many people who could make mistakes, and it has a catastrophic effect on people's lives. So it is disappointing, but I think we will get it sorted, because I still believe that Britain is one of the greatest democracies in the world, and I've got faith in them, really.
By the way, I did say final question, but I do have one more. To you both, Theresa and Mike, are you concerned about yourselves?
No. No.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear the question.
Are you concerned about Mike Jarvis?
Mike Jarvis and the other Montserratians and other overseas territory citizens of the UK, we all are very lucky. In 2002, the law, as it now applies to our other Commonwealth partners, was changed because of the eruption of the volcano in Montserrat and the massive evacuation we had of half the population of Montserrat, a lot of them to the UK, and a campaign by St. Helena. We just dodged a bullet, to put it that way.
Yeah.
Great to have you with us this morning. Thank you so much. We certainly hope that it works out for everyone. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
We all. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Caribbean immigrants in the United Kingdom, owner of the Jamaica Patchy Company, Theresa Roberts, originally from Jamaica, and former BBC journalist Mike Jarvis, originally from Montserrat.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, you know, but this thing has been on the lips of Jamaicans in the UK for some time. I remember when Aluna Samba was there as High Commissioner, she kept warning that this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And I guess it had to come to this. Yeah. But as he says, it's a little bit of politics that had nothing to do with trying to solve it, but it's being solved. So.
All right, so from the United Kingdom to Switzerland.